Mana Knowledge, Episode 10.
वासांसि जीर्णानि यदा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तदा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णान् यन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि.
Do you know what the terms birth and death mean? Birth basically means a person has entered a new body, and death means that the person left the body to enter another body. Birth and death exist only for the body and not for the person or soul that lives within the body. While the body is temporary, the soul is eternal and deathless. This is one of the major and first teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. In this sloka, Krishna describes the external nature of a soul with an example. Just as one leaves old man and wears out clothes and wears new clothes, similarly a person, the soul, gives up an old and worn out body, death, and enters a new body, birth. This concept, though deep in meaning, can be understood easily with stories. Why wait then? Go ahead. The boy who gave joy and sorrow. Once there was a king named Chitraketu who ruled the Surasena province. During his reign, the earth was prosperous. He was handsome, kind, educated, famous, and wealthy. However, he was very sad because he didn't have a child despite having 10 million wives. One day, sage Angira came to King Chitraketu's place. Chitraketu welcomed the sage with due respect and warmth. Sage Angira asked Chitraketu, "Dear king, is everything well with you? I see that your mind is restless. Your pale face reflects your sorrow." Chitraketu replied, "Nothing is unknown to holy sages like you. Yet let me tell you the cause of my sadness. My wealth and kingdom do not please me because I have no child. Please help me visit a son who can rule the kingdom after me." Angira then conducted a sacrifice. From the sacrificial fire, a celestial being emerged and offered a pot of sweets. Angira gave the sweet to Kritaduti, the first wife of Chitraketu. As she consumed it, she was told that by this power she would soon give birth to a child. Angira then informed Chitraketu, "Your son will be the cause of both joy and sorrow for you." Angira then left. Chitraketu interrupted Angira's word in this way, "My son's birth will certainly cause happiness, but because he will be my only son, he will probably be proud of his great wealth and empire and may not be very obedient. Thus he may cause distress, but that is all right." After some time, Kritaduti gave birth to a beautiful son. Everybody celebrated this long-awaited occasion. Chitraketu's joy knew no bounds. He generously donated gold, silver, ornaments, garments, villages, horses, and so on, just like a cloud pours rain. Chitraketu's affection for his son and Krotita grew day by day. He slowly began neglecting his other wives. This made remaining queens envious. They thought the newborn child is the cause of our sorrow. Let us kill him. Their jealousy made them lose their minds and do the unthinkable. They poisoned the child to death. Unaware of the sinful act of her co-wife, Kritaduti thought that her son has been sleeping for a long time. Later, she sent her maid to wake him up, only to realize that the child was dead. Shocking at seeing the lifeless body, she cried forcefully and fell to the ground unconscious. All the palace residents gathered there and began to cry. The queens who had poisoned him also cried passionately. When Chitraketu heard of his son's death, he became almost blind with grief. Slipping and falling, he approached the dead child and fell unconscious. At the time, sage Angira arrived there along with Narada Muni. Narada Muni said, "As sand particles on a seashore come together and get separated by the force of waves, the living beings also sometimes come together and get separated by the force of time. We are not together before birth and will not be together after death. God brings people together and despises them as they desire." Narad Muni then spoke to the soul of the dead boy. "Dear child, just look at your father and mother. Everybody is grief stricken. because of your passing away. Re-enter your body and enjoy joy and life with your relatives. Accept your father's royal throne and be a good thing to your people. So saying, he brought the son back to life with his mystic powers. The boy spoke, "O great sage, in which birth were these people, my parents? I have been wandering in the bodies of devas, animals and human beings. In many lifetimes I had many parents from different species. In different births, different people became our friends, relatives, enemies, well-wishers and so on. All these relations are valid only when one is within a body, but no one is permanently related." Saying this, the boy again left, and people saw only his dead body. Chitraketu and the others were amazed on hearing the bitter facts of life taught by the child. Giving up their sadness, they dutifully arranged for the funeral ceremony of the dead boy. As a matter of custom, Kritajuti's co-wives were ashamed of their sinful act. They atoned for the killing of the child on the banks of the Yamuna river as directed by Brahmanas. Therefore, Chitraketu chanted a mantra given by Narada Muni continuously for 1 week. His mind thus calmed down and he became increasingly attached to Lord Vishnu. Eventually, the Lord appeared before him and blessed him. One shouldn't get too elated in happiness or too distressed in depressed. Both situations are temporary. There was a great king named Suyajna who ruled the Ushinara province. Once while fighting in battle, unfortunately the courageous king died at the hands of his enemies. At the time of sunset, King Sujasna's wife ran to the battlefield and saw the dead body of their beloved husband. They cried piteously for him. They said, "Oh Lord, now that you are killed, we are also as good as dead. Cruel destiny has taken you away from our side. You were a great husband, and our most sincere friend. We cannot exist without you. We will also die now and follow you to serve you wherever you go." Thus they fell at his feet with tears pounding their chests. The queens kept crying and couldn't allow anyone to take the body for nation. Soon their cries reached the abode of Yama, the Lord of Death, who punishes sinful people in hell. To advise the queen of Sujajna, Lord Yama personally appeared before them in the body of a boy. The boy then spoke to the queens, "Alas, it is amazing that these people older than me, who have seen hundreds of deaths and births, are still confused. For anyone who is born, death is unavoidable. The soul is different from the body, which differs from species to species and appears and disappears by karma. The soul identifies with the body only due to ignorance. Still, the relatives of a dead person cannot understand this. Those who are really wise know that the soul is external and the body is temporary. Hence, do not lament." Although Yama himself was educating them in the form of a boy, the queens did not stop their lamentations. So, Yama narrated a story. Once there lived a hunter who would kill the birds in the forest. One day he saw a pair of Kulinga birds and captured the female bird in the net. Seeing his wife in danger and being unable to rescue her, the male bird cried, "Destiny is merciless. What is the use of my life after my wife's death? Let me also die. The baby birds are helpless. How shall I maintain the fledglings who haven't developed wings?" As the male bird was thus crying, the hunter shot him down with the arrows. Lord Yama concluded, "Dear queens, even if you lament for hundreds of years, your husband will not come back to life. In the meanwhile, your life will be finished. So, better stop wasting your time crying and instead focus on devotion to Lord Vishnu." Everyone was struck with the wonder at the words of the boy. Yama then disappeared, and the king's relatives were able to conduct the funeral ceremony. Emotions are common when we lose our dear ones, but that shouldn't make functional. Both King Charutra and the wives of the king Suyajna were pained when their both beloved relatives left their bodies, but wise devotees, namely Narada, Anga and Yama, explained to them the truth of life. Yes, it's very painful when one's dear friends or relatives die, and one naturally feels for them, but one shouldn't be demotivated or differential at that time. Instead, one should trust and accept the truth and move on one's responsibilities. I heartfully thank Gaurangadas Prabhuji for giving the key slokas of the Bhagavad Gita in short stories. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.